Hey. Hey guys, Did the Awesome here to give you a Monster Legends Preview Island episode. Alright, so today we are talking about all the monsters that are coming out for this Fairy Tale Island event. It is now just out, and I will be giving you my personal opinion on each one. Isn't really a guide kind of deal, but I just kind of give you my initial thoughts on it. I mean, I have looked up the monsters on the wiki, like the Pinocchio monster, the Red Hood monster, and the Cashier cat monster are on the wiki now, and I have read them. I know what they do, and I'm just giving you my initial thoughts on them. Alright, so Slayentar. This is a rare monster, uh, very popular rare monster, and in all honesty, it's one of the best ones. Here's a number of reasons why. It does a AoE, well, actually, this is just the one reason. It has an AoE, remove negative effects, and double damage buff. This is a really neat move, and I don't know if it was the first monster to actually do AoE double damage. I don't know for sure about that, but he has one. He had one. I mean, like, I don't know if anyone else before had, like, an AoE double damage before, like, Incognita and shit, but this guy could do AoE double damage, and it's really relevant. I think, nowadays, I think it's really good. If you can rank, in all honesty, if you can rank this guy up, which it is possible, actually, through the Cell Lab sales, if you ever see these up on sale, on the Cell Lab sales, get the cells for this thing. Rank this guy up. It will be worth your time, and it'll be really, really great. And it only costs gold, too, whenever those things are up on sale times, and I just found that out just a few cell sales ago. And I think you should invest your time. If you do miss like an event and there's a cool like rare monster you always wanted, you can get them for gold on sale times when you find them. Obviously, it's not like a weekly thing. You can find the common breedable stuff on those times, but in cell sales, you can find these cells, and you should totally rank this guy up because it's really, really nice. It's a really nice monster. Uh, Cashier. This is obviously a reference to the Cashier cat from Alice in Wonderland, and I gotta say this monster is pretty bad. This guy, there's no sugarcoating it. This thing's bad. It just is, because it runs on a 50% chance for its status effects, just for like the AoEs. Like, it has a single target possession, but that's genuinely it's terrible. I can't sugarcoat it. It's bad. Because it just is. Does it run on fairly low cooldown? Like, yeah, the AoE possession is like a 2-turn cooldown, but again, 50% chance. It's just not all that great. We don't like, no one ever likes 50% chance moves. I don't know why they'd be squealing about this one. But yeah, overall, this isn't a good epic monster. It just isn't. It might be relevant. It's not. Is it usable? Yeah, it's usable. You can use it and stuff like that. It's totally cool and legit. You can just do the extra guy. In my opinion, I'd do like 2 lives and a speed. Just to keep it out there longer so it can do more stuff, or it can do more, like, has more time to do its AoEs, like it can live longer. I'd do two lives of speed again, but that's genuinely about it. Don't suspect this guy to do any damage. He's just more so there to do his status effects. He can actually do, I think it's like Days and Nightmares. I think that he also had another one that's a 50%, again, but 50% chance. This guy's like chance. That's really, but I think they run on fairly low cooldowns. So if you're not bothered by that, then you totally do it. Don't run full speed though. It's not a good idea. Don't do it. It's better to have an epic monster that can live through stuff than an epic monster that can do some kind of neat shit but will blow up if it actually does get damaged. And all that jazz. Like, there are some like monsters that can go for a damage build, and that's totally fine. Like 2 damage and a speed, that's totally fine. But there are a lot of monsters that actually need sustaining to actually make useful. Like this monster. This guy needs to be out there as long as possible. Just to be usable, because again, everything runs on a 50% chance, except for like the single target was that I don't think those are on 50% chance. But anyway, yeah, it's a meh monster. I'll say that it's meh. Is it like pro? No. Is it all right? Yeah, it's all right. It's an all right monster. All right, Soul Cookie. This was an interesting. I will say this is one of the most interesting magic monsters at the. I mean, it's like a really old magic monster, but it's an interesting one due to the fact it's because it does double damage and haste. It has like a buff that does double damage and haste, and if you land the haste, then you can remedy his slowness. I will say that he like his speed. Like in all honesty, the base stats for this monster are just non-ranked up. They're pretty bad. None of them are at the gospel power, the decent stats for it, and yeah, if you need at least one more. At least you need to get this guy ranked up once to make him like competitively viable. I mean, like his stats are remedied at that point, but you can obviously remedy like poor stats with high level runes. I'm just saying, like if you're just the average Joe player running level 5 runes, you probably want to rank this guy up at least once. But yeah, anyway, this guy's interesting for a few reasons. One, he has double damage plus haste. That's really nice. If you get the haste too, you will for sure outrun the enemy attacker next turn, and that's actually a really nice situation. If your setup's really nice and all that. That's just really genuinely nice setup. You don't even have to go for the setup first because he actually runs a blind. I think the blind's actually on a 2-turn cooldown. He runs real razor face combo. It's genuinely great. Does he have a stun? Does it AoE stun? No, but I think it's like an AoE daze, and he has an AoE blind, and that's really nice. That is genuinely nice. You should totally run both AoEs. He has life regen plus energy regen on the same move. The only drawback is you have to choose either double damage haste or the regen moves. You can't have both. It just ruins his rotation. And he has a single turn stun. And I think that's really great. I think like he has a really nice move rotation in the single turn stun, the 2-turn blind, and then the 3-turn daze. Or you probably want to do the 3-turn daze first, so then you can do everything else again. So you can do the combo again if you wanted, or you could do the blind first so you can have the blind up again after using a double damage haste or the regen move, and then the stun. It has a lot of combo potential, and that's really nice. It's very helpful. But overall, this guy can't do much on at the moment. If he's just left alone at the moment, he doesn't perform well as other magic attackers, like Mr. Flanky and such. He's kind of, at the moment he's kind of outclassed because his speed is tampering. He needs to be either ranked up once or give him a really nice speed rune. I will say that you have to either give him a nice speed rune or you have to give him, to rank him up at least once. But overall, this is a nice monster. I will say this monster is really nice. In terms of move, this monster is really nice. It has a nice combo rotation. It's a nice monster, but he needs some patching up, and that's not hard to do. And honestly, that's not hard to do. Wolflington. Yeah, this is an epic monster for some reason. He's only 8 gold. Is this a good monster? I'd say yeah. I think he's a popular. In fact, I think he was a popular one. I think this is the only one where I didn't look up the moveset, but I think I know his moveset. I think he does have like an AoE double damage or something. I think that was the case. I'm not 100% sure. In fact, I'm not 100% sure on much of this monster in particular. But I've seen it use some moves. I think he has like some. I think he's like a buffer. I think that was the case. He was like either a buffer with some debuff. I think he's a buffer with debuff moves. I don't know if he was all that great, but he's got like buffs and debuff moves. I think he's a rarely rare epic. I don't think it's not too often we see this one. Don't quote me on this. I think if you just played this normally, in all honesty, you might get up to either Wolfington or MMO Monster. I think that's the genuine case. I don't know if it's possible to get the Pinocchio Monster with if you just play in a span of a normal time and stuff like that. I don't know if Pinocchio is doable. Don't quote me on that, but I don't know if it's doable. I just have to wait and see. But this may be the point of your doability without having to spend any gems. This might be it. Don't quote me on that. It might be the stop point. I'm not for sure yet. Alrighty, MMO Monster. This is a YouTube monster, and I have no idea why he's even in a fairy tale island. I have no idea. But anyway, with MMO Monster, he only does one thing and one thing alone, and that's clearing dungeons. He's really good at that. Beyond that, though, he's not all that great of a dark monster. He's more so, he's just a support, like, in all honesty, like, he's a support, he's kind of like a supportive monster than he is a damage dealer. Yeah, he can do damage moves, then you can build really high, you can do a damage build, and stuff like that, you know, if you build really high endurance, then you can do damage, like, but he does percentage, right? Like, if you build, like, most people build him percentage damage, and he's more so there to fight the boss. He has a 50% heal, which is actually really nice. I like the 50% heal move. It's on a fairly low cooldown, but yeah, beyond that, though, he's really only there to clear bosses. And even at that, there are better monsters to clear bosses, like Timeron. If you have Timeron, there's really no point in MMO Monster, just because, you know, you have Equalizer at that point, and you don't need much to kill it, and it's just easier if you just use Timeron. Yeah, but yeah, you use this thing to clear dungeons. Is this thing crap? Kinda. It kinda is, because, you know, it's, you know, like, compared to everything else, it just doesn't compete well with everything else, like Barbatos or Laserface, because this thing doesn't, in all honesty, this guy doesn't have an AoE possession, AoE stun. This guy, in all honesty, this guy can only do AoE. If he does any form of AoE, it's an AoE 30 damage nightmare. I think that's about it. So he's not too great. I think people consider him the worst YouTube monster. I think that's the case. In all honesty, I think that's the case. This guy, I think, is the worst YouTube monster. I think that's what people say about him. He's just not all that great compared to the other ones. With Vanus, he has like a haste, he has a slow, AoE slow, he has Berserk button, which instantly kills someone. MMO has a nice ult, but it doesn't, you know, it's yeah. Like, compared with other, like, ults, like Ichigo has an AoE stun and freeze. In all honesty, that's the best YouTuber ult, or just in general, one of the best ults at the moment in terms of, like, just ultimate deny, because if it's immune to freeze, then it's going to be stun. If it's immune to stun, it's going to be frozen. So that's a really good form of deny. In all honesty, that's really great. But yeah, this guy is probably considered the worst because he doesn't do anything in terms of just like his ultimate. He doesn't really do all that unique stuff besides the percent damage, and even that, then it's not that great. And in all honesty, nowadays it's countered by healing. It's countered by just AoE regen. If you're fighting a team with AoE regen, there's no point to bring him. In all honesty, there's no point in bringing this guy if there's an AoE regen fight. just put him home. He can't do anything at that point. If there's healers, if there's something healing the percent damage he's doing, he might as well just stay at home. He's just, at that point, it's just not all that great. All right, Mr. Scratch. I will say this is an interesting monster, but I don't think he's really unique. I don't think there's anything unique about him. There might not be anything anyway unique about him, because he has an AoE possession. He has the not the 2-turn thing, the 2 status effects moves, just on a single turn move. You know, this is what Vanus, you know, should have probably ran. In all honesty, this is probably his kid. He should have probably ran, but yeah, or Houdini and stuff like that. This is how he was probably supposed to be made. Yeah, this is what he does. He has an AoE possession, 3-turn cooldown. Nice. That's a decent. In all honesty, this is actually a really decent monster. He has a 2 status effect move. He's got an AoE stamina leak that's on a 2-turn cooldown, so if you just wanted to use this guy for solo stamina leak, you could do that. He has an AoE stamina drain move. I don't know, I forgot. Oh, he also recovers 60% of his stamina. You're gonna have to play around. I will say you probably have to play around with his moves, just because of the rotation and stuff, for the sake of rotation and stuff like that, because, the 2-turn, the 2 status effect, one runs at a 4-turn cooldown. The possession runs at a 3-turn cooldown, so obviously you have to use the 3-turn first, and then follow that up with another move. Then you probably have to use its single target possession. After you use the AoE possession, just for that healthy move rotation. Or you can do the 2 status effect moves you probably have to follow up, actually. You have to do the possession, then the 2-turn status effect, and then you do the possession and stuff like that. And then you can do the last move, whatever move you decide on using, and then you can go back to the possession, and it just recycles itself over again. But overall, this was an alright monster. He's actually good against Uryu, the stunning thing, because he runs on the same speed. I think this is the first monster in a while that actually ties up with Uryu. I think that's the case. But if you're running higher, you bring this guy to the fights where they're not running something that's immune to possession. So if any fights you have are faster than the enemy Uru, if they're running Pixie Lion, but in all honesty, that's about it. That's the only time you can bring this thing, is if they're running a monster that's not immune to possession. That's all honesty. That's the only time you bring this thing. That's the only time you do bring this thing. Alright, Little Red Fury Cat. This is a decent monster, actually. It's an attacking monster, and it's fairly decent. Why is this fairly decent? Because she has a 0 turn cooldown, 70 damage move. She actually is slightly above the gospel power of 465 for the attack and stuff like that, 3,465. Pretty decent power. I think it's like 3,700 something. Pretty decent power overall. And its speed, the speed's actually alright. It's actually acceptable speed of 3,421, and the life is 26k. Not too high on the K. It's meh on the K. Life, I think it's like average for attackers, or just like things like are alright. But if you put a life rune on it, then it's better. And I'd actually recommend you put a life rune on it, because she has a 1 turn cooldown move that is a for sure 25 damage move. She does pretty much like she works like this. She has a for sure 25% damage move, but it also gives her that back in return. So it's a drain move. It's a 25% drain move. So you'll for sure always take 25% of the attacker's. I mean, not her life, but the enemy life. You always take 25% of their life, and you always get 25% of your life back in return. So if you put a life rune on it, then you get more out of it. So you probably want to do that. It's just for sure damage. It's not something you want to spam. It's just something you want to use when you're pretty low on health and they don't do that much damage. I would say partner it up with dazing, or just things that lower damage, so you don't take as much damage when you actually take life back. If you're low on life and you take life back, you're not going to be taking that much damage. You'll be eventually you're getting more out of it, if you know what I'm saying. You're getting more back in return. Paired up with regen, this actually works really well. Is it better than 100% lifesteal? No. 100% lifesteal is, universally better, because if you're double damage boost, you're gonna get all your health back. If you're gonna knock something out and you're getting all your health back, it's not as good as 100% lifesteal though. In terms of just overall, in terms of sustainability, 100% lifesteal is way better, because you get all your health back. You're getting all your health back for the damage you did. So yeah, in terms of like just straight up recovery, it's obviously like 100% lifesteal is better. But in terms of like just like in general, like if it's like a specific situation where you need to do like your damage reduction, all that jazz, you will for sure do 25% of their life every time you use it. It's not a bad move at that point. You use it for more so for sure damage. You're always going to do 25% damage on a 1 turn cooldown aspect, and you're always going to get 25 back. In that aspect, you'll always get a for sure number back of life. That's the thing with this monster. But beyond that, she runs a fairly low cooldown. She has AOE bleed. That's a 3 turn, the average 3 turn cooldown. But everything else though, her single target damage is it's 0 turn cooldown actually. She has a 70 damage move. She has a 50 damage bleed move. That's a 0 turn cooldown again. Special damage, by the way. This is special damage. And she has a nightmare move, but that's about it, I think. So she's not too special in the aspect of like other like utility and stuff like AOE stunning. Don't turn to this monster. She is there for solely damage. This is a damage dealer, and she bleeds. That's about it. Just kind of like a wannabe Fenrir. She kind of is. Except she doesn't have like a damage boost. It's a wolf monster. I think he has like a spammable 65 damage move. There's just similar things compared to like Fenrir, because he has an AOE bleed. She has an AOE bleed. She has a high-end spammable damage, special damage move. They both share that. I think the only difference is she doesn't give like triple damage, or she's not a buffer, and like Fenrir can't get 25% life back. It's like for sure damage and shit. But yeah, that's genuinely about it for this monster. Is it a bad monster? No, it's a great monster in terms of damage output. Nice damage, nice damage. uh, Pretty much, if you don't really care about, like, if you just want to just straight up kill something, if you have really decent damage runes, you can just straight up kill something with the 70 damage move, because it does a lot of damage. When you have like a spammable 70 damage move, you don't care about anything at that point. In fact, if your runes are high enough, you can kill like Tymeron. If you like get cooldowns activated the first turn, you will for sure kill Tymeron with that move if you have really decent damage runes. You don't even need to power up. If your damage runes are fairly high, you'll kill it. You'll kill it. At some point, if your damage levels is high enough, at some point you'll kill anything without a life rune. At that point, you can kill anything without a life rune if you're running really high end damage runes. If you're running like seven runes, or like level 7 runes, or like maybe level 8, 2 level 8s, or these are either 2 level 7s or 2 level 8s. You're gonna kill something, if not almost dead. They're gonna almost be dead. So this is another thing, is this thing is anti-Tymeron, which is really nice. The cooldowns are fairly low on her single target damage. I will say another problem with her, she lacks really high-end AoE damage. She's not there to do AoE damage. She's more so there for single target damage. That's cool for 2v2 fights, but for 3v3 legendary fights, you probably want something that blows most of it up without much trouble. She doesn't do AoE damage, but she'll like one-hit KO something with her 70 damage move. She's just not there for AoE. Don't bring her for AoE damage, because it's only a 30 damage AoE on the AoE bleed. But overall, it's a very decent monster, and all that jazz. It's a really nice one. So overall, for this event, my personal opinion, not as good as all the other ones. Not as good as all the other Progression Island events. In all personal honesty, here's a few reasons why. The first 2 legendaries you get, you need high-end runes to patch up their stats, at least their offensive capabilities. Yeah, you do need that. At least, unless you rank them up first, you do need to do that. I think that's a genuine thing. You need really high runes to patch up the first 2 legendary stats. They're outclassed by other monsters in their category for these 2 anyway. For at least the first 2. The most decent, I will say, the very cool and new ones, they're the last monsters. So there's only 2, like, in all honesty, there's only 2 new legendary monsters in this event, and they're the last monsters. And as you know, you're not getting the last monsters unless you actually spend gems at the best times. And all that jazz. I don't know the best time frame. Just watch Armor Gaming's video on the best time to actually do this one specifically. What's the best time to get the this monster and so and such. Just watch Armor's Gaming's video. You can search him up and stuff like that. Very popular Monster Legends YouTuber. But yeah, overall, this event isn't all that great compared to the last one, which was the Fairy Tale Island. The Fairy Tale Island was actually fairly nice, because like it gave a lot of new variety of things, like the AoE double damage plus precision from Incognita. I think that was new. I think so anyway. That was a really nice thing. We got Sarah. Sarah's the best nature monster. Mr. Flanky was really cool. Is he as good as other magic monsters? No, but he's a really nice he's a really interesting magic attacker. He's different. He's got like 100% damage reduction. He's got like AoE slow. He's got a lot of neat things. I will say that he had a lot of neat things. And overall, the monsters were just really neat. I think there was more monsters in the last Progression Island too. Overall, am I saying this one is just really, really not worth doing? No, I'm not. Well, totally pick up on Stone Cookie. I will say that. If you're just the average Joe player, totally pick up on Stone Cookie. For sure, it's a really nice monster. I think it's like he's a beginner-friendly monster. His moves are really nice too. I mean, like in all honesty, it's just his stats. If you can patch up his stats, he runs really nice. Because he runs on a really nice move rotation. He has the real Will Razorface move rotation, and that's not really bad in terms of cooldown. He runs the Will Razorface cooldown rotation, and that's not really all that bad. He's got a lot of neat moves. He just needs patching. He's not finished. He's not finished cooking, as you will. But yeah, if you can patch up his stats, he's pretty solid. Uh, so yeah, that's genuinely the whole thing. This event isn't all that great, but you should still pick up on the monsters. If you're just new, totally pick up on the monsters. I will say if you're just the average Joe player, you might get up to Wolfington. You might. I don't know how long how long the time period for each monster is. I think I can see most people just getting up to Wolfington or MMO monster. I'm pretty sure the last two monsters though are just out of the question. I don't think there's enough days to actually get the last two monsters unless you actually spend gems to paste it up and all that jazz. But yeah, overall, this isn't a decent event. This event isn't as good as obviously the last one. The last one gave a whole bunch of new good monsters, or like Taiga, Chill Bill, and all that jazz. This one doesn't. There's not a whole lot of new legendary monsters besides these two. It's meh. It's yeah. I mean, like the with the oh no the last I'm sorry the last progression event actually was the whatchamacallit, the Fallout event. So talking about the Fallout event, I think the Fallout event was still better. I think the Fallout event was actually way better because we introduced to the Cox brothers, the Roxin and Nexor Cox. Those were really great. I don't think compared to that, yeah, this very overshadowed by that event. That event was really great. That Progressive Island event was really great. Yeah, but so pairing it up with that one, it's outclassed. It's totally outclassed. There's no way it's not outclassed because it gave us it gave us a monster with a new concept of like magnetizing and not only magnetizing but also making things flammable and having fire moves too to boot. It gave us another thunder denier, which is very much needed in this meta. You just need just more denies in general. Just for more options, more variety, and all that jazz. It just gave us a whole lot of new things, like Metal Mancer, even though he was in a previous event. It's a pretty good one. And they also gave us Dr. Hazard, which is it's a really nice monster. So overall, yeah, it's greatly overshadowed. Should totally get the totally. I'm not saying you shouldn't get anything. You shouldn't try for this event. I'm just saying that it's not as good as other ones. You should totally get Stone Cookie. Stone Cookie's nice if you can patch up his stats and stuff like that. It's totally patchable. And yeah, MMO monsters, it's a collectible monster. If you really wanted them, it's for a collectible monster. That's cool. But again, there are better choices. I think this is pretty much the event where neat, really cool design monsters, but there are better things. There are better things and stuff like that. But I like this event. I really wish, in all honesty, I really wished for MMO monster. I really wish he wasn't in this event because it doesn't make any sense that he's here. Like you could say, Dib, but he references the Dullahan. He represents Dullahan and stuff like that. Well, they have a Dullahan monster. Is it as good as this monster? No, but it would make sense with the theme. Honestly, if they're going for the specific theme for this event, I'd be totally down with specific theme. I would totally be down for the specific, it's fairy tale and stuff like that. I'd be down with that. I'd be down, even though I don't know if Dr. Slumber is as good as MMO monster, but it would go with the theme. And it's kind of I think like the thing with but yeah, it would go with the theme. I think that would be really great. So that's my overall opinions and thoughts on each one. I will be doing a guides on all these monsters as soon as I post all the mythology monsters. I'm sorry I didn't stream on Sunday. I'm gonna probably stream what's the next war here? Might be tonight. It will be today, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna be streaming today. Probably at 4. Yeah, let's go for 4. It's like 12 now. Maybe at 4 today. Or Let me think here. I gotta think of what else I'm doing today because I gotta do homework and shit. Let's not go for 4. Let's go for like 8. So 8 tonight I will be streaming, or at least be trying to. 8 or 9. Oh yeah, I gotta get up in the morning. So maybe earlier. I'm trying to think of a time here. Let's go for 6. No, 7. Let's go for 7. All right, we'll settle for 7. So 7 tonight, I will be streaming. Sorry, I haven't been streaming. I've been in Iowa. I was in Iowa celebrating, holidays with my family again. It's the second Christmas and stuff like that. All that jazz. Just family stuff. Because some people couldn't make it, so we decided to do another one. And all that jazz. It was a really fun time. It was a really cool time. So yeah, I'm Dib the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.